Hello, this is Rex King. I wanted to take us to the next step in this journey of understanding what we are. In the last video, I basically made the point or helped us to all come to the common conclusion that we are no doubt a holograph, and this holograph is operated by ultimately a common mind. And that common mind includes our mind and the minds of all the other people in the holograph, or objects far as that go, because everything has a weight, has a mass in some degree, and all mass has gravity, has to be accounted for. Okay. By the time we get to this, we're going to see what that means. How are things actually accounted for? Because this is the process of that. Let's just get right into it. The mind-made holograph from the infinite states of one by myself, Rex J. King Jr., professional engineer, date February 22nd, 2025, today. Infinite one math is what I'm going to call this. Okay, this is infinite one math. And by the way, anybody out there developing artificial intelligence, this is the kind of stuff you're looking for. This is, if you want artificial intelligence built on the model of a human, then this is it right here. You can't go any deeper than this. This is the bottom of the kernel. This is that basic, simple programming that they're able to manipulate into, because basically what's missing here is information. Information, individual time vectors. Well, what artificial intelligence is doing is mining our histories for our time vectors so that they can understand how we think and this and that and so forth. And then from all of that, collectively, determine what possible outcomes can be. And if a person is inclined to get a certain outcome, they could, of course, by injecting T's into the system, bots into the system that can basically influence the outcome, like make somebody say that it's okay to be a felon and be the president of the United States, to where 10 years ago that would have never happened, but now it's happened. How could that happen? Well, we've been massaged. It's called gaslighting. And at the same time, it is actually the method that we live our lives by. Gaslighting is basically skewing the method. Of course, that's what a rich person does with a lot of money. Once they have a lot of money, a lot of power, they're able to skew with money by influence in different ways. And in doing that, they basically can make the common holograph that we live in quite miserable for some. On the other hand, the ones that think they're winning, it can be they think they're in the Emerald Palace, but they forgot that they got to meet the wizard. The next video, we're going to meet the Wizard of Oz, and it's going to show us how all of this dread and destruction that a person can try and do to manipulate this system is for nothing. And the reason why is, let's get into this. This is infinite math. These are the ones that influence our reality. This is the infinite empty set. This is the infinite full set. This is the combined infinite empty full set. This is the combined infinite full set. So we're basically multiplying both sides by the same thing. This is equal to this, plus, and over here this is every individual time vector. So this is all the time vectors possible in infinity. And this is each individual time vector. And so this is equal to this is the point, without a doubt, because exactly what's here is exactly what's here. What we do is we manipulate this to leave the one here, this one common here, and then we bring these two to come over here where we create a past and a future, okay? The past is the full cup, everything that ever happened in the past, okay? And then the future is what the time vectors are going to change, okay? Now this is time vectors of the holograph, so this is multiple layers, but at the same time it comes down to each one of us as individuals. So let's just keep it simple. This is us as time vectors, and we want to make a change in our world, okay? And so in doing that, the as above was going on in our mind, okay, is we basically have set up, we looked at our past, we're trying to figure out our future, and we make a choice, okay? That's what's happening in our mind. So the common causal mind does this. And how does it do that? It does it over here. So basically we have a situation where we're in the now, we want to make a decision, we look at our past, and from this, we want to make a change, and we looking at our future, and we make a decision, okay? And then this decision is the sum of all the T's that's been going through this, all the time vectors. So this decision right here is going to be the output. Now, where do we fit into this? Basically, X's are all individual change minds, okay? So basically what I'm trying to say is every time this happens for every individual, every soul, so this goes through billions of iterations, and this goes through one iteration, okay? And then there's an output, okay? And this is every moment. So simultaneously, like a machine, like the invention that I invented, simultaneously, while this happens at one rate, this happens at a multiple rate for everything and everyone, multiple. And then there's an output. So basically, this right here is this operation, you know, like I just said, it's layered upon layered. This is the depth of the information of the holograph being generated, okay? And then once this is generated, there's a change, there's an output, okay? So basically what was generated was the mass times gravity was what was generated over here. Mass times gravity. And this output is an effect, okay? So basically this causal mind created a change, which is the effect. A waveform collapse result is the change. So space-time is bent. That's what occurs. So the meaning of space-time being bent is mass and gravity, the decision structure of reality of the holographic mind outputs its data in the form that it scratches time, it changes time, it bends time, and that is actually the change in the matrix from moment to moment to moment, is time being bent. And that's what's happening around us constantly that creates the image of movement in our reality. So basically, we can see that this natural configuration that time vectors fall into, which makes sense when you think of the male and female in pairs. But the point is that the decision structure creates, with the only material in there, which is the T's, the time vectors, the potential, which is this is, for the time vectors to make a change by creating a gravity that can create a bend in time or some material. But the point is a decision, a change. And then this change, of course, becomes mass times gravity, a potential, and this potential actually from past, the mass of the past, events of the past, has something that it can bend when it outputs its data as a new one. This one right here is basically result of the billions of operations of one iteration that goes out, and then there's going to be a 03 and then a 04 from one moment to moment to moment forever, and that's every movement change in the holograph. Space-time bent is change. So the last video, space-time is mind, and how does space-time with that mind operate the holograph? This is the mechanism by changing the infinite one currently from its current state to its changed state, outputting that changed state as an updated one that takes the current holograph and makes the minor adjustment from moment to moment to where our perception of movement, our perception of reality is currently updated as it should be. I just noticed we're just over 10 and a half minutes, so let me close this video down. I know I've covered this well. I'm going to look at it, see if I need to do more on this particular slide. If not, I'm going to go ahead and introduce us to the Wizard of Oz, the wizard that determines whether we reap what we sow and all that other good stuff, because sometimes it looks kind of confusing as to what's actually going to be the outcome of the way we expect the world should operate. Thank you very much. Let's get right into the next one.